Hey, I don't know if you can see me yet, but I'm getting there, getting lighter. Hey, what's going on? Stav Nation, how are you guys? It's me. If you haven't tuned in before, welcome. If you have, welcome back. My name is Bob Stavola. I fish down here in Atlantic and Cape May County, southern New Jersey. So, everybody talks about what rig do you have? What's your boat? What's your setup? And you know what? I'm going to go over that today. So today's going to be a day of seeing what gets me to where I need to go, what puts me on the fish, what keeps me on the fish, and little things I have set up in my boat, which is the off course. It's a 23-foot Carolina Skiff, 238 DLV from 2014 with a 2014 150 horsepower Evinrude Etec, which is it's a running machine, thank goodness. So yeah, this is a look at my mess of a garage, all my boat and stuff, and you name it. Got my rod sitting up here hanging off the garage door, and that's my workbench, and holy mackerel, there's a whole bunch of junk there. So yeah, just like probably most of you, I actually should be a lot more organized. Unfortunately, I'm not. But anyway, listen here. So we're going to give you a look at the boat. Right now it's still on the trailer. I'm getting ready to roll out of here around 11 o'clock, which will put me down where I fish normally all year long, around 12:15. High tide's a little later, about an hour later, so plenty of tide to put the boat in at the ramp and get her buttoned up at her dock today. So here's a quick look while she's sitting on the trailer. Oh, there we go. All right, so that is the off course 23-foot Carolina Skiff DLV on a dual axle load right trailer. I'm going to go on the other side where you actually see a little better, but most important piece of equipment, honestly, for me is the Minn Kota Terrova 60-inch 80-pound thrust. And man, what a game changer, that tends to be. So yeah, we got your basic. Oh, there's the ride there. There's the Stav Nation beast. I'm trying to think what year that is. 2000. Let's go with 2017 Chevy Silverado Z71 LTZ. Love it. So surge brakes, the whole 9 yards. You guys know, you're used to trailers. Just for the ride down, can never hurt to be a little extra cautious. Put an extra cinch strap down on there, ratchet strap, keep the boat from bouncing around, because I lifted the boat off the trailer about a week ago to paint under the bunks. She's a bunk trailer, and the boat shifted a little bit, so I just want to make sure everything is tight and right on the way down. So there's the T-top. That antenna, holy mackerel. So real quick story, I was losing power when transmitting, apparently, on my VHF radio, Standard Horizon VHF radio last year, mid-season. I'm not the original owner. I bought the boat 2019. The boat again is 2014. So I'm assuming that the previous owner, the first owner, put the VHF radio in or had it installed professionally. Well, long and short, I do a continuity test on the antenna wire. No shorts, continuity's fine, all good. Then I start just checking around, so I wound up buying an SWR meter. Put that in line. You remove the antenna from the back of the VHF base unit, and then the SWR meter goes in between the antenna and the head unit itself. You transmit, you hit your push to talk button, you transmit on your mic, and I was supposed to be getting 25 watts of output. I was getting a grand total of 6 watts output. Obviously I had an output problem. So I'm thinking, man, do I need a whole new head unit? This is ridiculous. Well, I start going through and tracing every wire. I'm like, all right, let's just see what's what. It wasn't too hard to do because they were right in front of me, but the tiny little wires that are used, well, somebody used those butt connectors, the crimp connectors, and put the two wires in the same side, which, okay, it's fine. That they'll you know, because they're small, I get it. The butt connector was too big. Crimped them, didn't shrink them, didn't do anything, left the other side of the butt connector open, never sealed it. Well, corrosion. You know, these are real tiny, thin wires, right? Thin. And, well, you know what that did. It gave me a corrosion problem. So started spraying everything with WD-40. Listen, WD-40 and duct tape, you can fix everything and build a house. So started spraying everything with WD-40, and realized also the tip of the antenna wire wasn't soldered. So I wound up soldering that. Hooked everything back up to the SWR meter. Guess what? 25 watts of output. All good. So I'm going to have to get in there and redo the wiring. But in the meantime, sprayed everything with WD-40, sealed everything off with dielectric grease, and we're good to go. So back to the boat. She's a bad motor scooter. So this is her Carolina Skiff 238 DLV. I guess that's showing up. That's going to show up. Yep. That's what she's powered with. Evinrude Etec, $1.50. Serviced by Joe Pecora and Yvonne Pecora down at Barnacle Bills in Delmont, New Jersey. 4-blade prop. I'm pretty sure it's a Renegade. Cyclone prop. Let's get you over here. 4-blade Cyclone prop. She's all bottom painted. Got the transducer all transduced. Got the transducer all painted up. She's good to go. That's the boat name. You know, I put it back there, not that you really could see it as I'm going by. I just didn't want to pull off the graphics on the boat, and I may do it this year. I'm thinking about, or well, next year. So all right, sit tight. I got a bunch of stuff that's still got to go into the boat. I only use XD100 Evinrude Etec synthetic formula oil, 2-stroke oil. So there's my T-top, which I just had an issue with the T-top, and I'll see if I can make any sense. But you see that knuckle right about in here? Well, one of those welds broke. In fact, then on the other side it was cracked too, and I wound up taking it to a guy that specializes in aluminum T-tops structure, and had it all redone. So all right, guys, hang tight. Let me get the cover off the center console, and I'll show you what we got going on, because today she's going in the water. All right, let me get this top off of here. Something I do every time I take it out, or before I take it out, I keep this top on in the slip. I love this top, it's awesome. And let's get going. First, what I got to do basically is I got to get the, I unzip the center. That loosens things up a little bit. And I have basically those bungee cords with balls on them, tent cords down the bottom, holding everything tight to the bottom so she doesn't get blown up. Start taking her off. Let's all roll her up. Got her hooked up to the top. And you know what? If I do it the same every time it goes on the same. This is where I get a little jammed up here. It's not easy being short. I am short too, if you haven't noticed. 5'6". actually came off pretty nice and easy, right? Finish rolling her. Fold her in half, and then that gets stored up in the bow. Let me come on along. Let's go. We'll go up to the bow. Let's go. Oh, shadow. Shadows. She gets tossed in here. Nothing fancy. That gets stowed. A lot of room in this 238. I mean, oh, what's going on? What are you looking at? A lot of room. Yeah. So, in the bow, I have I keep all my you name it, life jackets, anything that I'm going to need, fenders, bumpers, whatever you want to call them, whatever I need for the day. Tons of rope. Can never have too many ropes. So again, here's the setup. If we're standing on the bow here. You'll see the Minn Kota Terrova. Love it, absolutely love it. I did not get the Alterra because honestly I did not want to mess around with the with launching it. Didn't want to mess around with it at all with the automatic launch. I've heard too many people have too many problems. But so with that, here's the plug. This is the plug right here where we plug in the power to charge the two deep cycle batteries that are actually stored up in here in the bulkhead. I have a dual bank charger on board. Here's where the Minn Kota hockey puck for the GPS is. That's basically where the Minn Kota gets plugged in. That's the power supply to the Minn Kota. And I just keep the cord up front in the anchor locker. Keep it out of the elements. Keep it stored. And again, more junk in here. I mean, God only knows, man. We have so much stuff in our boats. I mean, you just look, it just goes on and on and on and on. Whole mess of stuff. But there is our charging system. Okay, battery, chargers and whole 9 yards. You name it. Life jackets, all my cleaning stuff. Can never have too many life jackets. So here she is, guys. There she is. This is neat here. So I apologize for the back and forth, but you pop this open. This is a feature that came with these boats where you could actually would have a curtain, and the curtain would drop down, right? You have a curtain, it drops down, and this thing comes up, the curtain's attached to this, and you can literally get changed in here. If you wanted to go to the bathroom, do your thing, you'll see that porta potty's never been used. I don't even keep the curtain here anymore because honestly, nobody's really going to the bathroom here. So that's my little buddy. What's up, Mav? So that's my little buddy Maverick calling my name. But guys, if you look in here, and I apologize if the light goes bad, but see these connectors? Why would you put, okay, I get it, you know, the wires are real thin. Wires are thin, and they put both wires in the same side, crimped them. Guys, never sealed them, never did anything with them, nothing. Just left them. Well, instant corrosion. So that was the issue. And there's the back of my head unit right there. This one here with the white wire. So I took that wire off. I soldered that. These have to be redone. I just didn't do them. I will get them done. I promise. I promise you. But so that's that. In fact, while we have this open, we're going to put my spare oil container in here, because you always got to keep your two-stroke oil with you, you know. And again, my boat's programmed, my motor's programmed for the XD100, and we just left it that way. I just think that's the best bet. If you're going to use it, you're going to do it, you put the best in, and that just to me is just without question is your best bet. So yes, we'll jam that in there somewhere. What do you think? That looks good. What do you think? Right there. Toolbox. Gotta have a toolbox. You never know. You know, you never know when something may take a walk on you, and next thing you know, you're jonesing for some tools. First aid kit. Always, guys, gotta have a first aid kit. you know, not for nothing, if not for yourself, for anybody that you bring on board, have a first aid kit. I will say, whatever you do, get something that you can guarantee is waterproof, because there's no guarantees. I don't care what you're getting, something somehow somewhere is going to leak, water's going to infiltrate, and you're just going to have a mess. So what I like to do is I like to keep the oil jammed in between these boots here. A couple of little rubber boots that I never use, but they're good to have just in case I need them. Good to have on board. Put our, whatchamacallit, back up front. First aid. You'll see I got a couple trash bags in here. This is the locker. This door opens up out here. Just pop that open. Hello, there you go. I got my flares within reach from the helm station. I think we're good. Everything looks like it's fairly stored away. This looks like this could move a little bit, but we'll work on that once I get her in the slip. Jam her in there so everybody stays tight. It's not working right now, and now we're jammed. Now we're jammed in there. That's all I ask. Everything just stays in one spot. So, okay. Hey, we got a little toilet paper, a little TP's never been used because there's no pooping on my boat. Well, I did the other day, and if you guys saw that video, I had to poop in a bucket. So it was the poop in a bucket challenge, and well, it happened. So these things happen. But anyway, drop that down, give her a little hook there. She's hooked in, not going anywhere. See, I got a little floodlight up top. I got another one in the back. These are the buckets. I know you guys have seen these buckets in multiple videos, and I just keep a lot of gear and stuff in there. I keep a lot of my oh goodness, you can never have too much. Look at the tail on that, how that's bitten up. You can never have too much Gulp, ever, never. Here's the helm station minus that spider. Nothing fancy, guys, nothing fancy, but you know, it's your basic setup. We got here, let me see, we got my Punisher skull tattoo. Well, actually, I have that tattoo now. I have that sticker as well. Little thin blue line police flag plus American flag. Backup radio just in case. Here's my standard horizon. Of course, you know, you guys know I'm a big Garmin guy, especially that's what came with the boat. GPS map 547 XS. I'll be honest with you, in the event that I ever do change, I will have to at least double in size, you know, the electronics. I could use a bigger package there, definitely. But one of the issues that I do have here is space. I really don't have the space to put a bigger unit, so that, you know, that's an issue. It's like it can't go down here. It really has to go there. I almost wish that one had come with a bigger GPS and fish finder unit, but I would have put, me personally, if I was doing this from the get-go initial installation, I would have had much larger, the largest I could electronics here, encompass this whole area. You gotta have, I personally think you always have to have a radio. I would have either seen if the radio could slide in here, which I'm not sure is possible, or I would have just mounted her, flush mounted her down there and hung the mic right up here. So, but listen, anything's possible, anything can be fixed, and we'll go from there. So a little fire extinguisher, you know the deal. So this seat here pops open, and you get a bunch of junk you could keep in here, and a lot of it's junk. I'm telling you, the stuff I really use when I'm cutting crabs, you've seen that scissor there, and you've seen me, I'm sure, with my gloves on. This here little contraption I made up. In fact, we're taking that out because I have to tie up and secure the VHF antenna. What do we got down here? Obviously these buckets are in the way, but little footstool. I probably should stand on it instead of rest on it because I'm so short. Battery switch, guys. I bought these a couple years ago. And they're the rulers that I use, right? Rain deck or I can't remember what the heck it's called, but yeah, it's a decking material. Awesome. There's a name again in case I forget who I am. I can't tell you how many times I want to get on the radio and say teed off, which is my old old boat name, but the off course now, because I'm off the golf course. I haven't golfed in a while, and you can see fish is chewing on a golf ball. Awesome. Got 4 rocket launchers across the back of the helm seat, a couple cup holders. Guys, I keep ropes, so 3 of these ropes are going to be on the dock today, and then the remaining 1, 2, 3, 4 will hang here. And you always have to have ropes handy. That's my thin blue line flag that goes up every time. I don't keep it up all the time because it just gets tattered and windblown. But that gets put on the rocket launchers up here every time I go out fishing. So these are awesome. I don't know if you guys ever seen these, but basically these are to keep you from losing your rods and reels out of these rocket launchers, because these rocket launchers on this Fishmaster system, they don't have the rubber interior or insert that keeps you from losing your rods and reels. So once I put them in, I hook this onto the reel handle, and I'll stretch it down a little bit, make sure everything's nice and tight. We're good to go. Good to go. So in here, guys, you'll see a couple hooks, 1 and 2. I put a tea bag in there with a couple life jackets. You know, just quick deployment. You know, in the event, God forbid, you know, we have an emergency. So my brushes, guys, you can never, in my eyes, in my opinion, you can never have too many boat poles, especially when you're self-docking. I use that boat pole. I always have a boat pole deployed anytime I'm docking. You just never know whether I have help on the boat or not. That boat pole has saved me on more occasions. Another ruler. These here, you look at these cleats. I matched the factory cleat, but I did not have midship cleats. Okay, didn't have midship cleats, so I do now, which is cool. And the biggest thing for me, 2 reasons I put a midship cleat on, is number 1, if I have to put a drift sock on, I like to put the drift sock on midship. That keeps the boat sideways. And to be quite honest with you, I don't really need to do that, being I have the Minn Kota, but it's still an option. And my spring line. I always have a spring line on my boat at the dock, so put that midship cleat on. Stainless steel parts, although I'm not really impressed with the stainless steel screws, bolts that I used. But underneath this is just a rolled lip, and underneath that lip I put a starboard. I probably went a little thicker than I needed to, but again, you don't want to play games. I'd rather overdo it, have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. Okay, those were extra rocket launchers that were on the T-top. There were 2 more on each side, so we had 2 here, 2 on the other side. Didn't need them on the sides, so I put them here. This way, you know, you'll see me plop the rods in here as we're fishing, as we're going along. All good. And put a couple rod holders up here on the bow rail. Again, all good. You see these 4 bolts right here. I guess you can see them. I'm sorry, I know we're dealing with my shadows, but these bolts here, that's actually the charger for the batteries. So that's there, and we got to put this somewhere, so I remember to put it in the boat. Don't forget it. I just don't want it banging around the boat while it's being driven. I have another rod holder on the other side. I only could put 1 on the other side here because of the door to get down below, but that's pretty much the one I normally use, because I usually just reach over and grab my rod out of there, and good to go. I think we're pretty good. So this here, guys, you'll see this, sometimes you'll see it. I use this when I'm transporting the boat. I lock the seat down with it. In fact, I'm going to be doing that momentarily. And then I use it to, while I'm fishing, I use it to hold my gear bag in place. So there's the Evinrude 150 Etec. She's a bad motor scooter. All right, Livewell. I'm going to be using this a lot this year, guys. I know you've seen me use this, but I checked, make sure the pumps are all good. That Livewell I will be culling here in South Jersey, or New Jersey in general, but here in South Jersey as well. I'll be culling my large flounder this year. So we're allowed 2 slot fish. So 2 flounder between 17 and just under 18 inches. So 17 to 17.99 inches. And only 1 flounder 18 and above. So listen, I'm not going to debate. I'm hoping this is a good idea. It's supposed to help bolster the breeder fish by not taking so many fish above 18 inches. A 1-inch slot is pretty tight, but we'll see what happens. Long and short, every fish I catch that's 18 or above, all my big fish will go in the live well. I will keep them alive in there. I will keep fresh running salt water on them, and I will cull my fish. If I have one fish that's in there that's, you know, my big fish for the day is 19 inches, and then as the day goes on, I catch one that's 22 inches. As long as that 19-inch fish is kicking, and it should be, because it's in there in fresh salt water coming in, circulating. That 19-incher is going back over the gunnel, and that 22-incher is coming home to get eaten. Unless, of course, a 25-incher comes over to gunnels. So we'll see. In theory, it should work. You know, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face, right? Mike Tyson. So down here, probably the last part, my cooler. And I don't keep any, you know, I don't use this as a cooler. I basically use it as complete and utter storage, which I have a bunch of stuff that's got to go in there. Of course, you'll see my dog bowl. In the event, I got.
When someone asks my mom if I am a good boy,
and,
sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I just made, so I'm not pouring lead, I'm not melting lead down, but I am buying lead heads and making my own jigs. So I'm a 1-inch jig guy, 1-inch ball jig or swing hook jig. I probably should use lighter jigs. Let's put that up against a darker background. Not too bad for my first time, right? It's all glow. A couple dual colors. I've done a couple tricolors already. We'll see if the fish like them. You know, some of these were from other people, but basically the majority, 25 of these. I just did 25 of these yesterday, so this one here looks pretty good. This is actually probably one of my favorites, if I can even get it out. It's not going to come out, but you can see it. I'm an idiot. Well, let's see what we got going on there. So, yep, you can never have too many jigs, you know, especially when you have guests on board, you know. You guys know what these are. My S&S John Skinner Tog and Porgy jigs, and I have an abundance of those. I have an abundance of bottom sweeper jigs. In fact, there's one in there by Captain Dan Schaefer out of my area. Love that guy. He's just an incredible dude, always willing to help, always wants to help put people on fish. What else? I don't know that we have anything else. So this is where I was telling you I had a break here in this weld was all cracked, and I took it down, actually took the back of this this back half off of this top, and had it re-welded. But in the meantime, the gentleman told me, because those wires that are up here, you got to take them out, you got to put them back, feed them back, cut them. You're gonna have to rewire them because it's going to get real hot in here, and I'm going to melt them. So yeah, that was a project, but it got done, made it happen. So all right, guys, I can't show you inside the bilge, but in the bilge I have a redundant bilge pump, because my one bilge pump, I have a Johnson bilge pump with the little attachable float switch, and that took a shit on me 1 year. My very first year, my boat was taking on water, and thank God I didn't lose the boat in the slip. And then every year I have to replace that thing. So I put a backup bilge about 2 inches above it, just in case the water, you know, it doesn't work. Well, I have a second bilge pump, and I actually did a through hole fitting, and came out real nice. So all right, guys, let you know a little about me again. Stav Fishing, thank you. I'm glad you're here. I'm Bob Stavola. If I haven't introduced myself to you before, now we know. Do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, Love to have you on the Stav Fishing Nation team. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the setup here and what you think I could do differently. If there's anything, any suggestions, I'm always open to suggestions. You know, I'd like to think I know what I'm doing, but the moment I think I know everything and there's no room for me to improve, well, that's the moment you actually fail. You know, look at John Skinner. Again, you guys know I'm a John Skinner devotee. He's teaching us all what to do. But every once in a while, you see John Skinner try something new, and he learns from it. You know, very systematically, very scientifically. But he learns from whatever he does. He's always trying something new. He has his tried and true stuff that he uses, but he's not afraid to try something new and see if it works or if it doesn't work. He either proves or disproves it. And if the master can do it, well, then every one of us should be doing it as well. So, all right, guys, wish me luck. I'll let you know how we make out when we put her in the sun. All right, well, successful launch.
Over Avalon, so
yep, successful launch. And we're putting the boat in, heading over to my dock now. I see it, I can see it. I just hope we get to it. See how we do. Good times. There we go. I'm going to get it where we're, so it gets us scrambling. So it sees us run around like two monkeys. Oh God. Ready. Just like that, she's home. As always, Stav Fishing Nation, thank you. Please hit like, subscribe, go fishing. Cheers to 2022 season.